विषय आहे प्रथम वर्ष अभियांत्रिकी प्रथम सत्रामध्ये ते SPPU सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे युनिव्हर्सिटी असो किंवा मुंबई युनिव्हर्सिटी असो किंवा कुठलीही युनिव्हर्सिटी असो भारतातील, त्यांना मग तो कम्प्युटर इंजिनियर असो, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजिनियर असो, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजिनियर असो, त्याला बेसिक मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरचं नॉलेज असणं हे जरुरीचं आहे, गरजेचं आहे. जनरल नॉलेज असणं गरजेचं आहे. त्यामुळे मी हा विषय निवडला की जेणेकरून मी माझं जे 20 वर्षाचा जो अनुभव आहे तो तुमच्याशी शेअर करू शकेन. Let's wait for 2 minutes. Let the other participants join. Till that, now let's discuss regarding what is the scenario in India. आता भारतामध्ये 2031 मार्च 2020 पर्यंत भारताची इन्स्टॉल्ड कॅपॅसिटी अराउंड 3,70,000 मेगावॅट इतकी होती. आणि आपल्याला माहीतच आहे की आपला देश भारत हा डेव्हलपिंग नेशन आहे आणि वी आर मार्चिंग टुवर्ड्स टू बिकम अ डेव्हलप्ड नेशन. आणि आपले माननीय आदरणीय पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी यांनीही आपल्याला सांगितलेलं आहे की मन की बात मध्ये की आपण आत्मनिर्भर होणं आवश्यक आहे. So the need of the hour is that we should focus on generating the power using the renewable energy sources. आपण 8वी ते 10वी किंवा 12वी पर्यंत नक्कीच याबद्दल वाचलं असेल, शिकला असाल की व्हॉट इज रिन्युएबल एनर्जी सोर्स अँड व्हॉट इज नॉन रिन्युएबल एनर्जी सोर्स. त्याचाच अर्थ की कन्व्हेन्शनल अँड नॉन कन्व्हेन्शनल एनर्जी सोर्सेस. आतापर्यंत आपण मोस्टली जे काही पॉवर प्लांट्स आहेत, उदाहरणार्थ माझ्या व्हिडिओमध्ये मी जो एक्सप्लेन केला आहे थर्मल पॉवर प्लांट, त्यात फॉसिल फ्युएल्स यूज होतात, म्हणजे कोल, गॅस और ऑइल हे त्यामध्ये यूज होतात. त्याला आपण बर्न करतो अँड द हीट प्रोड्यूस फ्रॉम द फॉसिल फ्युएल यूज टू जनरेट द पॉवर. इतर पॉवर प्लांट्समध्ये जसे की हायड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर प्लांटमध्ये आपण एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करतो, इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करतो. त्यात आपण पाण्याचा वॉटर पॉवर, वी आर युझिंग वॉटर पॉवर अँड वॉटर इज स्टोर्ड बिहाइंड द डॅम. ते मी डिटेलमध्ये आता येणाऱ्या माझ्या सेशनमध्ये तुम्हाला प्रत्येक पॉवर प्लांटचं थोडंसं ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन देणार आहे. पुणे हे एक पुणे इज अ डेव्हलप्ड सिटी. आपण मेट्रो सिटीच्या मार्च करत आहोत. आणि MIDC तुम्हाला माहितच असेल, MIDC दॅट इज अ महाराष्ट्र इंडस्ट्रियल डेव्हलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन, हे आपल्या चारी बाजूला म्हणजे पुणे सिटीच्या आहेत. आणि आपल्या पिंपरी चिंचवड MIDC ही भारतातील म्हणण्यापेक्षा एशियामधली सर्वात अशी मोठी MIDC आहे आणि त्याचं रेव्हेन्यू जनरेशनही सगळ्यात जास्त आहे. याचाच अर्थ की इंडस्ट्रियल डेव्हलपमेंट अतिशय छान आहे आपल्या पिंपरी चिंचवड MIDC मध्ये. आणि मोठमोठ्या कंपनी आपल्याला माहितच आहे, टाटा मोटर्स, थर्मॅक्स, अल्फा लावल, फोर्ब्स मार्शल असे कितीतरी मोठमोठ्या मल्टीनॅशनल अँड नॅशनल कंपनीज आपल्या पुणे सिटीमध्ये आहे. आणि त्यामुळे आपल्या पुणे सिटीमध्ये जे इंजिनियर्स इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेजमध्ये जॉईन होऊन इंजिनिअरिंगची डिग्री घेतील त्यांना नक्कीच चांगल्या नोकरीची अपेक्षा आहे, मिळण्याची अपेक्षा आहे. तरी मी आजचं सेशन हे सुरू करू इच्छितो. सो गुड मॉर्निंग एव्हरीवन. आय एम प्रोफेसर विनय अंकोलेकर. लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ टॉपिक मध्ये. सरळ जाण्यापूर्वी मी काही गोष्टी आपल्याशी शेअर करू इच्छितो. जसं की सिस्टीम्स इन मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंग हा विषय आहे. या विषयामध्ये आपण जे काही शिकणार आहोत त्यात युनिट वाईज आपल्याला ते शिकायचं आहे. त्यात फर्स्ट युनिट आहे इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ एनर्जी सोर्सेस अँड इट्स कन्व्हर्शन. आपल्याला आता सांगितल्याप्रमाणे देर आर डिफरंट टाइप्स ऑफ एनर्जी सोर्सेस लाईक रिन्युएबल एनर्जी सोर्स अँड नॉन रिन्युएबल एनर्जी सोर्स. आणि त्याचं आपण कन्व्हर्शन कसं करणार आहोत, जसं की माझ्या व्हिडिओमध्ये थर्मल पॉवर प्लांटच्या एनर्जी कन्वर्शन कसं झालं होतं. हीट एनर्जी ऑफ द कंबशन ऑफ फ्युएल वॉज कन्वर्टेड टू mechanical energy of the moving shaft and it is converted to electrical energy by the electric generator. That is how the energy was produced. So in this unit we will be discussing different types of energy conversion. दुसरं युनिट आहे त्यात आपल्या थर्मल इंजिनिअरिंगचा अभ्यास करायचा आहे. माझा 20 वर्षाचा जो अनुभव आहे त्यात माझं स्पेशलायझेशन हे रेफ्रिजरेशन अँड एअर कंडिशनिंग या विषयामध्ये आहे आणि आपण 11वी-12वी मध्ये थोड्या प्रमाणामध्ये थर्मोडायनामिक्स आणि हीट ट्रान्सफर या विषयावरही अभ्यास केला असेल. तर या युनिटमध्ये आपल्याला थर्मोडायनामिक्स आणि हीट ट्रान्सफर या विषयावर अभ्यास करायचा आहे. नेक्स्ट दोन युनिट जे आहेत, युनिट नंबर 3 आणि युनिट नंबर 4, हे टोटली डेडिकेटेड टू ऑटोमोबाईल सिस्टीम्स आहेत. आता कोणाला सांगायची गरज नाही की व्हॉट इज अन ऑटोमोबाईल. ऑटोमोबाईल इज यूज फॉर ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन पर्पज. आपल्याला माहितच आहे, बसेस, ट्रक्स, कार्स, टू व्हीलर्स, देन ट्रेन, एरोप्लेन्स, ऑल दीज आर अंडर द ऑटोमोबाईल सिस्टीम. अँड जेव्हा एखादी ऑटोमोबाईल कुठलीही वस्तू असेल तर त्याचे स्पेसिफिकेशन्स आपल्याला माहीत असणे गरजेचे आहे. सो 2 व्हीलर, 3 व्हीलर, 4 व्हीलर याचे स्पेसिफिकेशन आपण यात शिकणार आहोत. तसेच ऑटोमोबाईल सिस्टीम्स मध्ये भरपूर वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे सिस्टीम्स असतात, जसे की पॉवर ट्रान्समिशन सिस्टीम, cooling, engine cooling system, what is an engine, how it works, then braking systems, then suspension systems, अशा प्रकारचे नानाविध डिफरंट सिस्टीम्स आपण यात शिकणार आहोत. युनिट नंबर 5 मध्ये इंट्रोडक्शन टू मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग आहे. आपल्याला सर्वांनाच माहित आहे की आता मी आपल्याशी संभाषण करताना कम्प्युटरचा यूज करत आहे आणि कम्प्युटर बनवण्याकरता जे मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग लागेल त्यात वेगवेगळ्या मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग प्रोसेसेस असतील, कास्टिंग्स असतील. इट इज अ मोल्डिंग प्रोसेस, प्लॅस्टिक बॉडी आहे कम्प्युटरची. तर कास्टिंग, फोर्जिंग, मेटल कटिंग प्रोसेसेस असे नानाविध मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग प्रोसेसेस आर कॅरीड आउट इन द इंडस्ट्रीज टू प्रोड्यूस डिफरंट कंपोनंट्स. फॉर एन एक्झाम्पल, ऑटोमोबाईल सिस्टीम बनवताना त्यात 100 ते 150 कंपोनंट्स असतात. इवन इन स्मॉल इंजिन there are hundreds of components which are working in at the same time without failure. So that is the reliability of the systems which we have achieved. आतापर्यंत आपण reliable systems तयार केलेले आहेत. शेवटचे जे युनिट आहे ते विद्यार्थ्यांकरता फारच इंटरेस्टिंग आहे. त्यात आपण विविध प्रकारचे मेकॅनिझम स्टडी करणार आहोत आणि त्याचे ऍप्लिकेशन स्टडी करणार आहोत. आपण आपल्या घरामध्ये रेफ्रिजरेटर यूज करतो, एअर कंडिशनर्स यूज करतो, वॉटर हीटर यूज करतो, इलेक्ट्रिक आयन यूज करतो, अशा प्रकारचे. तसेच आपण वॉटर फिल्टरही यूज करतो, त्यात RO दॅट इज अ रिव्हर्स ऑस्मोसिस हेही आपण यूज करतो. असे नानाविध प्रकारचे मेकॅनिझम आणि त्यांचे ऍप्लिकेशन्स आपण या युनिटमध्ये स्टडी करणार आहोत. तर सांगण्याचा मुद्दा हा आहे की सिस्टीम्स इन मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंग हा विषय अभ्यास करण्याचा मेन हेतू आणि इम्पॉर्टन्स ही आहे की आपल्याला बेसिक मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंगचं नॉलेज प्रत्येकाला असणं आवश्यक आहे. ओके, सो लेट्स मूव टू नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. In my video, I had explained the thermal power plant. So there are several different types of power plants. Like first is a thermal power plant, second is a nuclear power plant, solar thermal power plant, hydroelectric power plant, geothermal power plant, wind energy power plant, and tidal power plant. In today's lecture, I will be explaining the thermal power plant in detail using the whiteboard in the end, as well as using the different animations. Okay, so let's move to next slide. So this image will give you an idea regarding the different types of power plant. Just observe the image. It will give you an idea. How is the wind power plant? How is the thermal power plant? How is solar power plant and tidal power plant? आता जी इमेज आपल्या स्क्रीनवर येत आहे, इट इज अ सिंपल लेआउट ऑफ थर्मल पॉवर प्लांट. ऑब्झर्व द स्लाइड केअरफुली. यू विल ऑब्झर्व that in this layout there are 4 important components, major components of thermal power plant. The first one is the boiler, second is turbine, third is condenser, Fourth is feed water pump. Apart from that, these components, there are some other components like there is a chimney, there is a cooling tower. Also, the electric generator is coupled with the turbine, and the electrical energy which is produced, it is transported to the customers using the transmission lines and the transmission tower. So we will be discussing each and function of each and every component today. आज आपण प्रत्येक component brief मध्ये discuss करणार आहोत. What is its function and complete working. Let's move to the first component, that is boiler. Now, what is a boiler? Boiler is also called as a steam generator. It's an heat exchanger. It is a pressure vessel. So in boiler, what happens? There is a boiler furnace. You can see the animation in that there is a furnace. Inside the furnace, we burn the fossil fuel. That is either it is a coal, gas, or oil. And due to combustion of that fuel, the heat energy is produced, and that heat energy is absorbed by the water to produce the steam. Now the figure which I have selected here, it shows that the water is passing through the tube and the heat is being circulated around the tube. So I can call this as a water tube boiler. So in Pune, you will find there are a number of companies, multinational companies, Indian companies which are manufacturing the boilers. Some names I would like to share with you. That is Thermax. Thermax is a major producer of boilers, manufacturer of boilers. Similarly, in government sector also, we are having the BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electrics Limited, which is also producing the boilers as well as turbines. And lots of thought process goes on while manufacturing the boiler. आपल्या इथे पुण्यामध्ये पिंपरी चिंचवड महानगरपालिकेमध्ये अल्फा लावल नावाची एक मोठी कंपनी आहे. त्यांचे ओनर पद्मश्री श्रीमती लीला पूनावाला या भारतातील पहिल्या मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर आहेत आणि त्यांनी आमच्या कॉलेजमध्ये व्हिजिट करून आमचे विभाग प्रमुख प्राध्यापक मनोज कुमार दळवी यांच्या मार्गदर्शनाखाली आम्ही एक कन्सेप्ट लॅब तयार केलेली आहे, लॅब ॲज अ म्युझियम. त्यात आपल्याला विविध प्रकारचे मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंगचे जे कंपोनेंट्स आहेत ते आपल्याला इथे आपण बघू शकतो. तरी माझी सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांना विनंती आहे की जर तुम्हाला आमच्या कॉलेजला येऊन जर कन्सेप्ट लॅब बघायची असेल तर तुम्ही मला पर्सनली कॉन्टॅक्ट करू शकता. लेट्स मूव टू नेक्स्ट कंपोनेंट. दॅट इज before moving to next component, just observe the image. You will find that the heat is being absorbed by the water. This is a simple working of your boiler, principle of boiler. So the water is moving, and how the water is moving? It is due to the natural circulation of water, and that is due to the density difference between the hot water and cold water. In case of boiler मध्ये दोन प्रकारचं कन्फिगरेशन आहे, जसं की वॉटर ट्यूब बॉयलर अँड फायर ट्यूब बॉयलर. So as per the name itself, water tube boiler means the water is flowing through the tube and the hot gases are surrounding the tubes. And also as per the name, fire tube means fire, that is the hot gases are passing through the tubes and water is surrounding the tubes. So in both cases the heat transfer is possible and ultimately we need to produce the steam. So that is how the boiler works. Coming to the next slide, let's discuss the turbine. Turbine is used in every power plant. In gas turbine power plants, in aeroplanes also we use the gas turbine power plants. In thermal power plant we use steam power plant, and the working fluid is the steam. There is a high temperature, high pressure steam which is impinged over the blades of the turbine and which is coupled with the generator, and power is produced. So here you will find the heat energy of the steam is converted into mechanical energy of the moving shaft of the turbine, which is thereby coupled with the generator. So ultimately we produce the electricity. So this is the sign convention of turbine. I will be explaining it later on the whiteboard how we can draw the different components in detail. observe the image on the screen. It will show you, it will give you an idea regarding the size of turbine. You can see, observe the turbine size, it is very huge. And number of blades are fitted on the turbine. And when we say turbine, uh, there you will find the high pressure turbine, intermediate pressure turbine, and low pressure turbine. So you know the company Siemens. Siemens is a German company which is a major manufacturer of the turbine. In India also we have the BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electrics Limited, which is manufacturing the turbine. Let's move to next component that is a steam turbine, steam condenser. What is a steam condenser? As you all of you know, there are two processes. One is the evaporation process and second is the condensation process. In evaporation process, the liquid that is converted into vapor, and vice versa. Opposite to that, the vapor is converted into liquid during the condensation process. So condenser is an heat exchanger where you will observe that the steam which is coming out of turbine enters the condenser, and using the cooling water we can condense the steam into condensate, and that condensate is getting collected at the bottom of the condenser, and that condensate is again required to be pumped back to the boiler. During condensation process, the cooling water becomes hot, and that is required to be supplied to the cooling tower. That is how the function of condenser is. Let's move to, this is an image where you can find the huge size of condenser. You can see the hundreds of tubes are there through which the cooling water will be supplied and the steam will be surrounding the tubes. So when the steam comes in contact with the cold surface of the tubes, condensation occurs. Coming to next slide, this is showing the image of a pump, that is a boiler feed pump. So the water, that is a condensate which is produced in the condenser, is again required to be fed back to the boiler. So we use different types of pump. You must be knowing the KSB pump, Kirloskar pump. These are the major manufacturers of the pump which are used in the power plant. Now, as you know that earlier, about 50 to 60 years back, the manual operation of the most of the components was there in the thermal power plant. But nowadays, everywhere the automation has been done, and sitting in the control room, we can control the whole power plant. So failure of the component is not a major issue nowadays, and from the safety point of view, everything is taken care of. So that completes the working of our thermal power plant. There are some other components which I would like to discuss with you. So before that, let's discuss this image. This image shows a boiler feed pump. Just observe the image, you will find that the centrifugal pump is connected to a motor. Now what is a motor? The working of motor is exactly opposite to that of electric generator. In electric generator, the generator is converting the mechanical energy into electrical energy. But in case of motor, we input to the motor is the electrical energy, and that is converting it into mechanical energy of the rotating shaft. So the shaft of motor is coupled with the shaft of the centrifugal pump, and thereby we can use the centrifugal pump to pump the water. Let's move to next component, that is a chimney. Now what is a chimney? As all of you know that after combustion of fuel in the boiler furnace, it is to be released in the higher atmosphere. We cannot release it in the ground. Upon ground level ला हे जे emissions आहे सोडू शकत नाही. त्याकरता आपल्याला चिमणीची आवश्यकता भासते. Chimney is having a very long height. It is made up of concrete or steel. Because the emissions contains the various pollutants like sulfur dioxide SO2, NOx, carbon monoxide CO. So we need to release this in the higher atmosphere. That's why you will observe in every industry, most of the industries, you will find the chimney. Some are cylindrical in nature, some are conical in nature, and some will be, the flue gases will be released by natural pressure, or some blowers will be required to throw away these gases out of the system. In this slide, you will see the image of electric generator. Just observe the image of electric generator here below. You will find the huge size of electric generator that is used in the power plant for generation of power, and AC power is produced here in the generator. Observe the next component, that is a cooling tower. Now, what is the purpose of cooling tower? If I define cooling tower, students, this is very interesting definition. That is, cooling tower is an heat exchanger which is used to cool the cooling water. See, it's so interesting. It is an heat exchanger which is used to cool the cooling water, which is required to be supplied to the condenser. During process of condensation in the condenser, the cooling water becomes hot, and in order to cool down that hot water, hot cooling water, we require cooling towers. And cooling towers are big constructions, very high. It has got a very high height, and you can look, you can see the thermal power plant. The major construction is a cooling tower. I will show few images now of the thermal power plant. You can understand it in a better way. So this is the complete working cycle of thermal power plant we have studied today. I request you, all of you, to take the screenshot of this slide. It is a list of 10 thermal power plants in India. As you all of you know that NTPC, have you heard NTPC? What is NTPC? NTPC is National Thermal Power Corporation. So most of the major thermal power plants are there with the NTPC. And in Maharashtra, we have the Maharashtra State Electricity Board. Under that also there are a number of power plants. And you will observe काही विद्यार्थ्यांनी रिक्वेस्ट केली आहे की मी मराठीमध्ये बोलावं. तर आपल्या भारतातील जे 10 महत्त्वाचे मोठे थर्मल पॉवर प्लांट जे आहेत त्याची ही लिस्ट आहे. तर सर्वांना विनंती आहे की त्यांनी ह्या स्लाइडचा इमेजचा स्क्रीनशॉट घ्यावा. तर पॉवर जनरेशन मध्ये, एस्पेशली थर्मल पॉवर जनरेशन मध्ये प्रायव्हेट सेक्टरही आहे. त्यात रिलायन्स पॉवर आहे, टाटा पॉवर आहे, अडानी पॉवर आहे. आणि आताच मी माझ्या सेशनच्या अगोदर सांगितलं होतं की भारतात इन्स्टॉल्ड कॅपॅसिटी अराउंड 3,70,000 मेगावॅट पॉवर आहे आणि ती वाढतच जाणार आहे. So we have to generate the power on a larger scale because our country has got a large population, and in order to cater the population, we require to generate more and more power. This is an image of thermal power plant. You will see the cooling tower, there is a chimney and the complete plant, and there is water also, because water is the major requirement. Availability of water is the major requirement in nuclear power plant as well as thermal power plant. Before starting the next power plant, I would like to share a few diagrams with you, all of you, on the whiteboard. Hello everyone. Everyone is listening to me? Before I'm about to explain you, all of you, how to draw and remember the different components of power plant so that you can draw the layout completely. So as we had discussed thermal power plant. Cooling tower. A student has requested me regarding the explanation of the cooling tower. What is a cooling tower? Cooling tower is used to cool the cooling water which is coming out from the tap. If I want to explain the function of cooling tower, let me draw the condenser. first. So there is a condenser. So in the condenser is a heat exchanger. So there are tubes. So the cooling water is passed, cooling water is passed the condenser, and cooling water is coming out from the other end. This is the direction of flow of the cooling water. So steam is entering the condenser from the turbine, exit of the turbine. So when the steam will come in contact with the cooling water, it will get condensed, and the condensate will be collected at the bottom of the condenser. But when this cooling water is entering the condenser, it is cold. But when it comes out, it is hot. So when it is coming out, it is hot. Now this cooling water, which is very hot, it is required to be cooled, and that for that purpose we require cooling tower. That is the purpose of cooling tower. So that's why I have defined the cooling tower. What is the cooling tower? It is a heat exchanger which is required to cool the cooling water that is supplied to the condenser. Some basic diagrams I would like to explain for our thermal power plant. The first component is boiler. How to draw a boiler? So when you draw the boiler, just draw a circle and show the water. Sorry for the interruption. In case of boiler, the water is there stored in the drum, and below boiler there is a furnace. There is a grate over which there is coal, and when the combustion takes place, heat is produced. That heat will be absorbed by the water, and that will be transformed into steam. And the steam is the working fluid that will be supplied to the turbine. So that is how we can draw the boiler. There are two configurations. There is a fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. So in case of, if these are the tubes, if hot gases are passing through this tube and water is surrounding here, then it will be fire tube boiler. And if water is passing through the tube and hot gases are surrounding the tube, then it is a water tube boiler. That is the configuration regarding the boiler. Let's discuss with the diagram how to draw a steam turbine. Steam turbine is very interesting. If I draw two sections, just observe this section. This is a convergent section, and observe this section. This is a divergent section. This will be utilized for compression process, that is compressor, and this will be utilized for the expansion process, that is turbine. So when we draw the turbine, so it is consisting of divergent section. So this is the turbine, and here there will be shaft. This is a shaft, horizontal shaft, the turbine, and on that we have to couple the generator. On the shaft of the turbine, we find there are number of blades. So these are the number of blades. So the steam will be entering the turbine here. It will impinge over the blades of the turbine. Shaft will start to rotate. So mechanical energy will be produced, and that will be transformed into electrical energy using the electric generator. The steam which will be exiting here at the downstream of turbine will be supplied to condenser. Now, as you know, this is an electric generator where the mechanical energy is converted to electrical energy. Similarly, if I show the same in similar line, if I write M here, this becomes motor. The working function of motor is exactly opposite to generator. So input to the motor is electricity, and output will be your mechanical power, mechanical energy. So that is how we can explain the different types of hello friends. Coming back to, I will explain the different diagrams later on when the time will permit, because we need to discuss a few more power plants in detail. We need to discuss few more power plants in detail. Just come to next power plant, hydroelectric power plant. Hydroelectric power plant. Now, as per the name itself, hydroelectric power plant. What is the hydro? Hydro means water power. So we have to utilize the power available in the water to produce the electricity. So just observe there is a wheel. Due to the water, the wheel is rotating. So that principle we have utilized to generate the power. What are the different essential elements of hydroelectric power plant? विद्यार्थ्यांना तुम्हाला माहितच असेल की जलविद्युत प्रकल्प म्हणजेच आपण महाराष्ट्रामध्ये वेगवेगळे जलविद्युत प्रकल्प आहेत, हायड्रोइलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर प्लांट आहे, त्यात डॅम हा मोठा कन्स्ट्रक्शन आहे. डॅम, what is the purpose of dam? We have to create large reservoir. There is a vast amount of water behind the dam. धरणाच्या मागे आपल्याला मोठ्या प्रमाणामध्ये पाण्याचा साठा करावा लागतो. आता पाण्याचा साठा आपण धरणाच्या मागे का करावा? What is the significance of that large quantity of water behind the dam? Because potential energy is stored in the water behind the dam, and it is to be converted into kinetic energy of the water flowing through the large diameter pipes, that is called as a penstock. आणि हे जे कायनेटिक एनर्जी आहे वॉटरचं, त्याला आपल्याला टर्बाइन रन करून एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करायची आहे. So the working of hydroelectric power plant is very simple, very easy. I will show you one animation. You will understand it in a better way. Just observe the animation. You will find there is a dam. Water is stored behind the dam, and the water is passing. The moment we open the gates, the water will rush towards the turbine house. Here in the turbine house, there is a turbine. The turbine is rotating. It is coupled with the generator, and electricity is produced. Turbine च्या खाली एक draft tube आहे. What is the purpose of draft tube? The purpose of draft tube is to keep the turbine always above the water level. याचा अर्थ काय आहे की टर्बाइन हे आपल्या पाण्यामध्ये नेहमीच बुडीत असला पाहिजे, म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये एअर बबल्स वगैरे क्रिएट होऊ नये. दॅट इज द पर्पज ऑफ अबोव टेल रेस्ट लेवल. माझ्या मागच्या स्लाइडमध्ये एक महत्वाचा पॉइंट मी सांगू इच्छितो, ज्याला आपण हेड ऑफ वॉटर म्हणतो. व्हॉट इज हेड ऑफ वॉटर? हेड ऑफ वॉटर इज नथिंग बट इट इज द हाईट बिटवीन द टेल रेस अँड हेड रेस. त्याचाच अर्थ जर डॅमची हाईट आपण जर वाढवली, डॅमची हाईट जर वाढवली तर आपण डॅमच्या मागे जास्तीत जास्त पाण्याचा साठा करू शकतो. जास्तीत जास्त पाण्याचा साठा जर आपण रिझर्वॉयर क्रिएट केला डॅमच्या मागे, याचाच अर्थ आपण जास्त एनर्जी, पोटेन्शियल एनर्जी स्टोर करतोय, आणि थ्रू आउट द इयर वी कॅन रन द पॉवर प्लांट टू प्रोड्यूस द पॉवर. दॅट इज देयर आर व्हेरी बिग पॉवर प्लांट, भाकरा, नांगल. Then in Maharashtra you find the Koyna Dam. Yeah, it is producing large amount of electricity. See the next image. This is an animation. In that animation you can understand there is a Pelton wheel turbine. Water is impinged using the nozzle. Jets of water are sprayed on the blades which are on the shaft, and it is coupled to the generator, and electricity is produced. That is a principle behind generation of power in the hydroelectric power plant. This is an image of a dam. This is another image of dam. You can see the water rushing through from the top level of the dam through the spillways. It looks like a waterfall. It is pretty. This is an image of the penstock. These are the large diameter pipes made up of either steel or concrete, which carry large amount of water towards the turbine. Next, let's discuss nuclear power plant in brief.
Dear participants, all your questions will be answered at the end of the session. So please be online, and very few minutes are left to end the session. So whatever topic sir is explaining, definitely it is very helpful and very important for the first year engineering. Thank you.
Hello, let's continue. Just observe the animation. Observe the animation which is there on the screen. It is the layout of, simple layout of nuclear power plant. What is your observation? You will find definitely there is a turbine, there is a generator coupled with a turbine, there is a condenser, there is a feed pump also. But you will observe that the boiler of the thermal power plant, it is installed in a containment structure, and there is another reactor vessel also. So in nuclear power plant, the advantage of nuclear power plant is pollution is zero, because we never burn the fossil fuels in the nuclear power plant rather than in the nuclear reactor. Have you heard nuclear reactor? Have you heard nuclear reactor? In nuclear reactor, the radioactive material is bombarded. Neutrons are bombarded on the radioactive material, that is either uranium, thorium, and the reaction is taking place, nuclear reaction. There is a exothermic reaction, and enormous amount of heat is produced, and we need to harness that energy. So the heavy water is the coolant which is used in the primary circuit. So the red colored is a heavy water which is giving its heat to the blue colored water in the secondary cycle. So here, what is the difference? What is the major difference between the nuclear and thermal power plant is that in nuclear power plant, we never burn any fuel, rather than we do have the reactions in the nuclear reactor and we produce the energy. The major advantage of nuclear power plant is that we can generate large amount of power, mostly 1000 megawatt, and near Mumbai, there is a BARC. What is BARC? Bhabha Atomic Research Center. So Dr. Homi Bhabha, he was the pioneer in the research of nuclear science. So he has laid the foundation of this BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. In India, you will find there are number of nuclear power plants. So there are advantages as well as disadvantages. One of the major disadvantages of nuclear power plant is that it's like carrying a nuclear bomb in your own house. आपल्या घरातच bomb आहे. Because during war, जेव्हा युद्धजन्य परिस्थिती निर्माण होते, तेव्हा आपले शत्रू कशावर टार्गेट करतात, तर न्यूक्लिअर पॉवर प्लांटवर त्यांचा टार्गेट असतो. तसंच हायड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर प्लांटवर त्यांचा टार्गेट असतो. कारण डॅम जर फुटला तर सर्वत्र जलमय होईल आणि नुकसान होईल. तशाच प्रकारे न्यूक्लिअर पॉवर प्लांट म्हणजे एक बॉम्बच आहे. पण जर सेफ्टी, इफ यू यूज द सेफ्टी मेजर्स, वी कॅन यूज इट फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ द मॅनकाइंड. So I hope you have understand the working of nuclear power plant in brief. Let's move to next image. This image has the animation of solar thermal power plant. So solar energy is available in abundance. It is free of cost, so we can use the solar energy. So on large area, large ground, we can install different types of solar collectors, concentrating solar collectors. So the moment there is fall on the concentrating solar collectors, the heat will be absorbed, and using that heat we can produce the steam and we can run the turbine. So only here we are not burning any fuel, so energy is free of cost. It's a renewable energy source, and it is the time that we should harness maximum benefit from the solar energy. So lots of research is going on how to harness the solar energy. It is one of the renewable energy source. Observe the animation and the image of a power plant. Can you identify this power plant? Obviously, this is a wind energy power plant. So in India, you will find wind energy power plants at many locations. While moving towards Satara, you will find the wind turbine power plants. Wherever you will find the velocity of the wind is high, I can install the wind energy power plants, but we can generate the power in a smaller amount using the wind energy power plant. Germany is the country where you will find around 60 to 70% of the power requirement is met by wind energy power plants. So you can find hundreds of wind energy power plants there at different locations in Germany. Coming to next topic, that is tidal energy power plant. Now, as per the name itself, tidal energy. What is the tidal energy? And what do you mean by tide? मराठीमध्ये आपण त्याला भरती आणि ओहोटी म्हणतो. समुद्रामध्ये भरती आणि ओहोटी असते. तर what is the reason behind formation of tide? पृथ्वी, चंद्र आणि सूर्य, अर्थ, मून अँड सन याच्यामध्ये ग्रॅव्हिटेशनल फोर्स असतो, गुरुत्वाकर्षण शक्ती असते, अँड दॅट इज द मेजर रिझन फॉर फॉर्मेशन ऑफ टाइड्स. सो आपण असा एक डॅम कन्स्ट्रक्ट करावा की भरती असताना ड्युरिंग हाय टाइड द वॉटर विल रश टू द टर्बाइन at the back side of the dam and reservoir will be produced, and when the low tide will be there, when there will be OT जेव्हा असेल तेव्हा we can move the reservoir water from the reservoir to the same turbine. So यात अतिशय इंटरेस्टिंग कन्सेप्ट हा आहे की I can generate the power in both direction. So I have tried to explain you all of you in brief the different types of power plants. It is a part of our curriculum. The moment you will join the engineering in the first year in any college, you will have to learn the systems in mechanical engineering. So this is the first topic which you are going to learn. So I tried my level best to help you out understand all the workings. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Dear students, your questions will be answered. So first question is from Rohan Sancheti. His question is, which material is used to build turbine? So please answer.
Very good question. As I had said, the turbines are produced. The Siemens is the major manufacturer of the turbine. So alloy steels, mostly the alloy steels are used to produce or manufacture the blades of the turbine, because it has to deal with the very high temperature, high pressure steel. So when we say alloy steel, tungsten will be there, because for the toughness we require tungsten. So this is the answer. Mostly we use the alloy steel, and blades of the turbines are detachable. We can remove the blades during maintenance. And metallurgical engineers, there is a science, metallurgy. There is a branch of, there is a sub branch of mechanical engineering. So metallurgical engineers do research regarding this, how they produce the material which can sustain high temperature. Thank you.
Dear Rohan, have you got the answer?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next question is from sir, computer engineering चे lecture केव्हा होईल? So already I have written the answer to this question. 15 जुलैला Python programming वर lecture होणार आहे. तर ते it is related with the computer engineering. Next question is from Jaydeep Singare. How many pressure required to speed up the turbine?
So again a very good question, Jaydeep. The pressure actually, mostly in the modern power plant, we use the high pressure boilers. So the pressure is around 600 to 700 bar, that is a 600 to 700 bar, that much pressure is required. And as I had said while explaining the image of the turbine, there is a high pressure turbine, then the intermediate pressure turbine, and low pressure turbine. So pressure is getting lowered in the turbine. So at the initial moment, at the inlet, the very high pressure will be there, around 600 bar. So that's why we call the boilers as a high pressure boiler. Thank you.
Jaideep, have you got the answer? Or do you have any other question? You can unmute your microphone and you can ask if you wish. Thank you. There is one more question.
Sir,
Have you any question, Jaideep?
सर सोलर एनर्जी पासून आपण इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट करू शकतो, राईट?
हा बरोबर आहे. वी कॅन
पण
जनरेट
विदाउट वॉटर आपण जनरेट करू शकतो का?
विदाउट वॉटर आपण जनरेट करू शकतो. तुला माहितच असेल फोटोवोल्टाइक सेल. हॅव यू हर्ड फोटोवोल्टाइक सेल?
हा, राईट.
सो डायरेक्ट कन्वर्शन ऑफ सोलर एनर्जी इनटू इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वी कॅन जनरेट. बरोबर?
हा.
ओके, थँक यू.
Next question is from Aman. Next question is from Aman. Sir, as we know that there are many drawbacks of hydropower, so it is profitable as compared to its drawbacks. So, Aman.
Hello, Aman. See, hydroelectric power plant mostly depends on the.
Hey, Aman, unmute your microphone and you can ask your question directly to sir.
Sir, as we know that in hydropower electricity, there are many drawbacks such as the ecosystem is getting disturbed and then the soil is getting sedimented and these are the drawbacks. So, as it is profitable for producing electricity for continuing the same system.
See, actually, hydroelectric power plant it depends on the rainfall, seasonal. Because if you don't store a maximum amount of water, you don't create the reservoir behind the dam, it is not profitable. Am I right? Yeah. Now the era is to produce the electricity using the most of the renewable energy sources. So in our India, we have the Ministry of Renewable Energy Source, you know. So we are marching towards the research to produce the electricity using different renewable sources. In India, you will find higher wind velocity at many locations. We can harness that energy. Also in India, you will find we have intensity of solar radiation is very high. So we can harness the solar energy also on a larger scale. So you will find after say 10 to 15 years, you will find most of the hydroelectric power plants, they will be there, but they will be obsolete. Yeah, we will not be using maximum hydroelectric power plant, rather than we will be using the other energy sources. Have you got the answer? Aman?
Okay, he might have got the answer. Next question is from Kunal Borse. How many watts energy are created in one generator? So, Kunal, please unmute your microphone and ask your question directly to sir. Unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How many watts in one generator?
See, it depends on what type of power plant it is. As I have said, in case of wind power, if a single wind power turbine is there, we
Sir,
can.
आवाज clear जा रहा है.
आवाज.
See, it depends on. Please, all other participants, please unmute yourself, and I have to answer the question from Aman. If it is a turbine, single turbine, wind turbine, it can generate from 0.5 to 1 megawatt, but it depends. In thermal power plant, we generate from around 300 to 1000 megawatt. Nuclear power plant, 1000 megawatt and above. So it depends on that power plant, what amount of power is to be produced.
So the question is, have you answered question of Rohit Kharade? What are the types of turbines? Rohit, question from Rohit is, what are the types of turbines?
See, in case of your nuclear power plant, as well as steam power plant, we use the steam turbines. And in hydroelectric power plant, we use the Pelton wheel, Francis turbine, Kaplan turbine. These are the turbines which are used in your hydroelectric power plant. In aeroplanes, aviation sector, we use the gas turbines. So these are the different types of turbines which are in use.
Rohit, have you got the answer? Or do
Yes,
you
I
have
got,
any?
sir.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to thank you all the participants for patiently listening to the the lecture. I hope whatever contents are covered by Professor V.V. Ankolekar, you might have understood it. And if you have any questions, please ask questions directly to sir, and he will answer to your private WhatsApp number. So thank you very much. And tomorrow's session, please be in time, join in time for the tomorrow's online session, which will be on engineering chemistry. So you will enjoy the tomorrow session. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.